tonight. Happy Friday night to everybody. Probably worked a long, hard week, and you're ready for a good weekend to take a break from everything. I'm just chilling here. Came down to Walmart to charge my phone, and there was a little thunderstorm going on at the time, a nocturnal thunderstorm. So took a little shelter here underneath their awning and plugged in and just kind of chilling. Just finished watching Marf. Some of you guys were there at Marfruble tonight watching, so just thought I'd do another quick little live here, and more of an open forum tonight. No topic really, unless you guys, you guys want to chat, come up with a topic or something we can talk about. Mainly, I just kind of wanted to go over all the events that are going on, the activity on our sun. It's starting to get a little crazy now, and it's really affecting the earth more and more. We're seeing more storms. We got hurricanes brewing. There are hurricanes coming off the coast of Africa. We got another one coming up the west coast now, Hurricane Hillary, that's gonna, do a lot of damage and wreckage to Southern California, to even up to northern Nevada where I'm at. So I'm getting ready to experience the residual effects of that, and just kind of watching closely our weather, the instrumentation, and I know that something's going to happen around the 20th, because we had quite a large event on the sun on the 17th, which takes 3 days to get here. So on the 20th, I'm expecting our weather models to be more than what they're predicting. I know when that energy comes in, it's going to cause the core and the shell to swell, and the Schumann will spike again. We'll see evidence of that on the Schumann. And when that happens, it makes our magnetic field weaker, and we'll probably see some effects on the Schumann from this as well. We'll probably see some more volcanoes, possibly more earthquakes. We got all kinds of stuff that are going on. The whole gambit of stuff is starting to go down. Even the political realm, and the spike in crime. You're seeing these other countries are suffering. We have Germany. If you guys went and looked to see that Frankfurt, Germany, and Nuremberg got hit really hard, and they flooded, and we got just all kinds of crazy weather all around the world. We're having crazy events going on. There are spiritual entities in our skies, in the clouds. They're just continuing to get more and more and more. And I'm expecting that, as this progresses, that we'll even have even more, until the veil finally falls and everybody will see it all. And we'll be shocked and surprised by what they see. Not my audience, but other people will. People that are not in the know, it's gonna be quite a shock to them when the spiritual stuff starts happening. And just kind of wanted to chit chat with you guys a little bit, see what you guys wanted to talk about. You guys in the chat there, post something if you have questions or a topic you want to discuss. You can tell that these events are affecting the elite, not the elite. You guys are the elite. I should call them the criminal elite. That's what we'll call them. The criminal elite are starting to get desperate. They're seeing this activity ramping up, and they're getting desperate, and they'll be making moves and stuff here. We got Poland heating up as far as the wars. So we have wars and rumors of wars. We're having disease and pestilence. There's famine and starvation going on. And you're seeing this all play out, just like it was said it would in the Bible. Excuse me while I tell this cigarette here. The rain's picked up again here, and I have to take a walk from here to my campsite, so I'm just kind of chilling here in the awning, waiting for this rain to stop. We had some cool ass lightning a little while ago while Mark was playing, and I was going to turn the camera around and point it at the lightning show while we were going live here, but it ended. The last bolt was a pretty good sized one, and then there wasn't much after that, so our event is over. But all during the day today, I watched cumulus clouds just blossom and boil, and we're seeing our atmosphere kind of boiling, you know. Even something I noticed is it's following the topographic of the terrain. Where I'm located, we're in a valley, but we have the Sierra Nevadas right behind me here. At the base of the Sierra Nevadas we're sitting, and you can see the clouds accumulating over the mountains. The air gets pushed up, it gets colder up there, it gets pushed up over the mountains, and these towers, these tall cumulus towers start growing, and then when sundown comes, all that stuff starts coming back down, and we have lightning and hail and rain, and so we're experiencing here where I'm located the effects now, because I'm in the high desert. We're not used to having thunderstorms every day now, and then it's going to get even worse as more of this moisture travels up through Nevada, up through California, and eventually it's on a beeline to right where I'm located. So I'm starting to get ready myself for to hunker down a little bit while that passes. And you guys should be watching the weather and seeing what's going on around your area as well too. Working on trying to get my laptop going again so we can look at some instrumentation, and I can kind of report on that, and give you guys a heads up as to what's going on. But today's SEADS satellite, there were a couple of little flares that came off, a couple of little CMEs, nothing too big. But yesterday, the 17th, that event was quite big, and I expect it'll carry quite a punch when it arrives here on the 20th. So all you people that are watching the weather and doing your diligence, be prepared for the 20th. That's a day you really want to watch and make sure that the weather is going to be what it's going to be like in your area, and then also residual effects from the sun hitting us. It's going to go, what does it say? It's going to hot again in the hundreds here in Oklahoma. Yeah, Jimmy Satterfield is in Oklahoma, and he's saying it's going to be in the hundreds there. It's been almost 100 where I'm at, and it's really affecting our weather. So what else did we talk about? We got a lot of stuff going on, and it's kind of hard to cover it all. But one of your, let me know what one of your favorite topics is, or something. We could talk about that for a few minutes. But just kind of chilling here. Wanted to pop in again and say I love all you guys. Thank you for your care and your prayers and your support and stuff. I've been trying my best to stay on top of this, and while moving, from site to site, because it's hard out here on the street. So anyway, I just popped on, go live real quick. What do you guys feel like chatting about? Put something up in the chat, and we can discuss a topic. What I'm most concerned about coming up with this event on the 20th is a potential drop or weakening in our magnetic field. When this CME and the plasma that arrives, the energy that arrives, is going to get diverted to the poles send it to the core swells, it enlarges, the shell then heats up and enlarges, but it can't expand outward because there's so much magma and crust and pressure pushing back down on it. So the shell will expand, but it'll expand down onto the core again, causing a grinding sensation or the grinding event, and that'll that'll weaken our magnetic field. So you're going to want to watch maybe the 21st, the day after. Lately, it seems it's about 4 to 6 hours after impact that we see the Schumann start to show indications of the grinding effect. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that, get prepared for that. The 21st, I would check your Schumann resonance before you go outside. And if you do go outside, you want to wear some long sleeve white shirt if it's hot to reflect as much of the heat and energy that you can. I wouldn't be sunbathing on the 21st if I were you. If you work outside, I'd wear a hat and cover up as much of your skin as possible. If you have to work outside, that's what you should do. But otherwise, I'd try to stay indoors on that day. And do you think Yellowstone will erupt in our lifetime? Yes, Yellowstone will erupt probably very soon. We might see activity out of Yellowstone when this energy hits us on the 20th. So I would expect maybe right afterwards, watch all the volcanoes, expect possible earthquakes. If you're near a fault line and stuff, you might want to strap your fridge to the wall. You might want to remove all the china that's on a shelf that could fall. Your pictures, anything that's hanging, you might want to reinforce it. I'm not guaranteeing, but the way things are working now, it's kind of likely that we'll see some of those effects happening here on the 20th to 21st in that region, because excuse me, this energy is going to hit us. Ezekiel and the seven seals is tied to the phoenix and the pyramid. Brian, maybe the tetramorph is the foundation under the tribe, which could be the rock. Okay, well, that's interesting. It could be. Some of that I'm not too knowledgeable about, but had 2 more C flares today. Yeah, I heard we had 2 more C flares, and that energy will be hitting us the 21st. So today the 18th, right? And then that'll be hitting us on the 21st. So we might have like a double shot, the 20th and now the 21st. Even the days leading up to it, tomorrow, and there might be some more activity. The sun has just been bombarded by these objects, and it's constantly squirting out something here or there. I watched what is it? World News Report was James. I can't think of his last name. I just had it. Anyways, he was showing some activity on the LASCO C3 of some objects that are racing around in front of the cameras, streaking by, leaving these long, big white streaks. And there's an activity. There's like a war going on around our sun. And I put the thumbnail as an old painting from what I think the 1500s or something of the battle around the sun. And in that picture, it shows a big black wedge-shaped type ship and a bunch of orbs and cylinders duking it out in the sky, and while right in front of the sun with these weird arcs in the background of the sun. Well, that'd be your objects that are interacting with it. Some of them are much bigger than the sun and would leave an arc type shape like that in the sky. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw something similar to that painting happen and play out in our skies here soon, because that's what's going on around the sun, and eventually we're going to start seeing it as well. So just kind of keep an eye on your skies. Keep an eye, watch your back, keep an eye on the news, because they might pull some kind of event that you might have to react to. I could see them maybe trying to lock us down again with some kind of new COVID or whatever the latest thing might be to try to keep the public scared and to keep you maybe in line. So don't be surprised if something like that comes down the pike as well. I know that this stuff is going to continue to ramp up. It's not going to slow down. We also have this big train derailment in Moore, Oklahoma, with some kind of chemical spill. They haven't announced what it is yet, and even what they do announce, it might not be the truth, but the poor people in Moore, Oklahoma, you need to pray for them. They've already had their asses handed to them with tornadoes, and recovering from that is hard enough, but now they're going to have this big chemical spill mess in their downtown. So pray for the people of Moore, Oklahoma. And these train derailments, you know, this is not a coincidence. Something's going on with these things, and it wouldn't surprise me if we got some kind of sleeper cell activity that are sabotaging and the rail system and taking it out slowly. It could very well be our own Democrat Party that's doing it, you know. These guys are evil, and they're hellbound to get what they want, and they're just going to continue to steal and rape and pillage the economy until it's gone. So you guys are going to have to do your best to try to save and prepare. Can't always keep it what I can say there, but I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, but I just kind of wanted to give this a shot and see if you guys felt like chatting a little bit. You guys come up with a topic or something we could talk about, or if you have a question or concerns. I'm still picking up angels, demons, dragons, in clouds, and when this stuff manifests in the physical, it's quite a shock. So be prepared to see something that might be shocking. You guys, my audience, will probably won't be as shocked because I've shown you a lot of this stuff already to get you ready for what you might be seeing here. And you know, they're going to try to tell you, oh, the Anunnaki or the aliens are coming back and they're going to save us, or they're the ones that, you know, planted us here and stuff. Don't fall for that BS, okay? My audience already knows well enough that that is not the truth. I have picked up those, their ships, and I've shown you the like dragon-faced type airplane, the little gold trinket, the actual ship in the cloud. They're here. There's all kinds of different races of aliens that from across the universe, or life forms from across the universe, that are all showing up. And when you look up into the clouds, you'll look for like a set of eyes. You'll see two clouds that are perfectly, you know, symmetrical to each other, just apart like this, and you'll see a set of eyes. And then if you look down below it, you can see out a nose and where the rest of the face would be. And today I'm looking around, and there are all kinds of sets of eyes in the clouds. So that's kind of the one little giveaway. When you're looking up in the clouds and you're seeing, if you see anything, somebody reported they caught a demon in the clouds. You see the eyes first. You'll see these, you know, oval type clouds that are almost the same size and, you know, apart from each other. And then if you patient, you'll see the rest of it fall into place. Sometimes you catch the face right away, and then it kind of dissipates, leaving the eyes left. That's what I've been seeing a lot of, and I can't really document and record too much of it because of my battery situation, but you guys can, and I know a lot of you guys are taking pictures of the sky and stuff, so, you know, keep your phone ready. If you see an event unfolding, get your camera and start recording. Most people's reaction is being stunned and just standing there watching it and not thinking about grabbing their phone and taking a picture or even videoing it. So if you see some kind of activity going on in your skies, grab your camera as quick as you can and try to record it. Document this stuff, put it up on your channel or post it on YouTube so everybody can see it. Because the news isn't going to report it. They're going to keep hiding it and pretend like everything's going smooth or whatever. But I'm sure they're well aware of what's appearing in the skies, and eventually you won't be able to hide it anymore. It'll be too obvious, and that day is coming soon. So I'm trying to get you guys ready to expect to see some quite some crazy stuff happening in our skies. And that little thumbnail I put up there is as an example of what you might see. I also posted a little thing today, just a picture of the sun with a little thing right below it about pro. The opposite of pro is con. If the opposite of pro is con, then the opposite of progress is Congress. Yeah, how true is that? The opposite of progress is Congress. Yeah, they like to just lie, cheat, steal. They're passing laws that benefit them and not us, and then they're above the law. They go ahead and just break it and continue on doing what they have to do, or continue on doing, their thing, while us, as law-abiding citizens, are suffering from their greed and for their lust of power. So watch out as they try to crack down and make you conform to their rules. If you think about the last little epidemic that we had, remember everyone went rushing and bought up a bunch of toilet paper and you couldn't find certain supplies? Well, now is the time to go ahead and get those supplies beforehand, so when the mad rush for these items comes, you'll already be pre-stocked. So just little things like that. I would get to know your neighbors in case you need to help them or they could help you. These fires that happened in Canada are taking out one house but not the one next door. So you never know if your house is going to be the one left standing or if your neighbor is going to be the one left standing. So one of the things I was thinking about too is buying some fire extinguishers. Get yourself 2-3 little fire extinguishers that you can take them with you if you have to bug out, or if needed in a pinch, you could possibly put out a small fire in your yard. Another thing to maybe consider is if you have a garden hose outside your house, maybe get 2 or 3 of them and hook them up to all the spigots outside your house and have them ready to go in case there's a spot fire in your neighborhood and something tries to jump into your yard. You could hose it down and already have your hoses there and ready to go. Just little tricks like that, things that you could think of that would possibly preemptively help you, so when a crisis comes, you'll be able to react and not be forced to react. So, what else? The rain kind of let up a little bit here. I might, we'll go for another 15 minutes or so. You guys got any questions out there? Somebody in the chat, you can post a question. We'll try to address that. I found a place to shave, so I look a little bit cleaner tonight. But if you guys got any questions or anything you want to talk about, we could try to cover something in the next few minutes before we go. There's James Kaufman, that's who it was. James Kaufman, World News Daily, something like that, World News Report. You guys should go over to his channel, give him a like, and check out his latest videos. He was showing the Lasco C3 with all these ships streaking through. And since I can't access that right now, you could go over to his channel and check it out there, because some of these streaks are huge. You know, they're not they're not hidden anymore. It's kind of blatantly obvious that there's a ship out there streaking between the sun and the camera. And also, what was it? I think it was MBB 333 was showing objects around the moon. So at nighttime when the moon comes up, watch your skies a little bit. There was a couple spheroid objects captured next to the moon. So now we're seeing signs in the moon as well as in the sun. I was noticing that the moon and the one planet would they line up. They start to get close. Here's the moon and here's the star. It's Venus, I believe. Yeah, and they kind of coincide. The arc of the moon points. This arc is like a catcher's mitt for this star right here. Then the star will move closer, and then it'll be on the other side of the moon, right here, like the moon's an eyeball looking at the star on this side now. Well, that alignment isn't the same anymore. The star is way off and the moon is way off. So it looks like the moon has shifted out of the celestial plane and it's not lining up with the star like it has for the last 25, 30 years that I've been watching it. And I noticed that a couple weeks ago and was like, wait a second here, that alignment it's not lined up straight anymore. So when that conjunction comes around again, when Venus and the moon start getting close to each other again, I'm going to be watching carefully to see if that alignment has shifted more or if it's back to normal. But I noticed a change in the position of our moon compared to the alignment of that star, and that tells me either the moon has shifted out of the celestial plane a little bit, or possibly our planet has tilted a little bit. I would expect some, just your amateur astronomers that would notice something like that, because to me, I saw it right away. I was like, whoa, 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 that alignment's way off. So the next rotation, when it comes back around to that star and the moon being lined up again, everybody take note. If it's not lined up with the apex like this, like the crescent moon and the star would be going right into the catcher's mitt. If it's off like this, then you'll know something's wrong. And it was way off. The star was down here and the crescent moon was up here. And then when it went by like this. It didn't go through the mitt and come out the other side, and this round backside would be like an eyeball looking at the star positioned right at the apex. So watch that closely. Take notes of the positions. Mike from around the world was talking about we're going to be seeing new constellations. So I would keep a close eye on some of the amateur astronomers. You're used to where the Big Dipper is. You're used to where Cassiopeia is. You're used to where all the constellations are positioned. And if you notice a shift in them at all, let me know. Put a comment on one of my videos, or that's the way I'll see it, and we'll look at it and get more in depth with that. I just gotta tell you guys, hold on tight, because it's going to get bumpy here. We got a lot of things going on, and they're just accelerating. So I would expect probably to see more fires, more volcanoes starting to come to life. Kilauea has an earthquake swarm going around it, so Kilauea might go off. We might see another fire on that island, possibly. Some of these fires, like up in Canada and stuff, I believe are being sparked from underground. The heat from the magma pushing up through perforations in the crust is starting spot fires on the surface. So if you're in a wooded area, densely wooded area, you might want to consider, what would happen if there was a fire in your area. The California coastline, I think, is probably another dangerous place. We have this ice shelf at Antarctica that's just waiting to snap and plunge into the ocean. It might not cause a big tsunami, but it could raise the ocean levels, and beachfront property is going to get inundated. So if you live on the coasts, you might want to, maybe consider selling now before it gets washed away, or backing off, going inland, or higher in elevation. If you're considering buying a new home and you're deciding between the one down on the valley or one up on the hill, you might want to take the one up on the hill, because when this water event happens, water's going to come up and it's going to rise, and if you're in a higher position, you won't get as flooded. Other things to maybe consider: investing in a raft or a kayak in case your area gets flooded and you still want to get around. You could bust out the kayak, or put your family in the raft and get yourself out of there, rescue yourself, because some of these rescue teams are going to have their hands full and not be able to get to you right away. So in some of these cases, you guys might have to save yourselves and not be able to rely on first responders. You might be the first responder to your neighbor. A lot of these scenarios you got to start thinking about that could play out quite easily. Do you know CPR? Do you have the first aid kit around? Some other, just any kind of how to do a field dressing. Just all kinds of little tactics you can think of, survival skill tactics. You guys are a bunch of preppers too, so you guys know what to do a little bit. I just wanted to kind of throw some things out there for you guys to consider and to keep fresh in your mind. Have a little plan A or a plan B in the back of your mind, so when it happens, you just react. You already have your plan and you can just react. If you don't have any experience or any plan, you're not going to know what to do. You're just going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off going, oh, what do I grab? What do I grab? I don't even know what to do. Well, if it's a flood, you'll know, get the boat. If it's a fire, you're out there with your hoses. So just stuff like that to consider. Stay on top of the news, because they could do a false flag at any moment and try to trick the citizenry into reacting and responding to the way they want you to, in fear. So don't get caught up in that. Your medications, you might want to see if you can get a 2-month. Sometimes your medication is for 30 days. See if your pharmacy will extend you a second month worth that you can hold on to in reserve in case something happens. The power could go out and the grocery stores be closed and you can't get to the pharmacy to get your medication. So things like that to consider. How are you going to liquidate, your cash? How are you going to have some cash on hand in, like a little safe in your house, so you don't have to go to the bank to get your money, because what happens, say the grid goes down, you're not going to be able to access your money. So you might want to have a little nest egg of, a little secret nest egg of cash, or, whatever to barter with or to have in case something like that goes down too. You got to consider almost every scenario and what to do and how you would react to that. So I'm already kind of mobile and out doing it already. So like I said, camping, go camping and practice. When you're on your camping trip, practice your survival skills. Get a hatchet so you can cut down your own wood and start your own fire. How are you going to cook your food over that fire? Do you have cast iron Or do you have a grill, a little makeshift grill that you can throw over any size fire and cook something on it? Um, Bug spray, stuff like that, because all the bugs are going to be coming up from the ground now. You're going to have a lot of insect activity. If you go look at what happened to Saudi Arabia, they have a brand new genus or family species of locust now. Something they've never even seen before, that's never been documented, is now all over Saudi Arabia, striking them, and expect to see Saudi Arabia go down. They're one of the richest countries around, and they supply a lot of the funding and stuff. So what happens when that country goes down and they're no longer useful? You know, you can see some of these other than Christian nations suffering, and now our nation is suffering. It's like divided down the middle. We had all that SO2 coming out of the East Coast and not so much out of the West Coast. So watch that instrument as well. That one was called Null School. Nullschool. Null School is that one of the instruments that I show you guys on my show. Go over to that and play around with the little legend on it. Learn how to check the air quality, learn how to check the fires on there, because these spot fires are popping up from underground all over the place. So go over to Null School, get used to using the little legend there, the little key, and look at all of your SO2 levels, your SO4 levels. That is an indication of where that gas is seeping up through the ground. That's where you're going to possibly see your volcanic activity. These volcanoes on the west coast, St. Helens, all the way up to Rainier, don't be surprised to see those start to become active. These little islands out in the Pacific, especially over by the Philippines and in that archipelago region right there, expect to see more volcanoes going off in that region as well. I believe there was a 6-point something that struck the mid-Atlantic ridge. So we've had two magnitude 6+ earthquakes in the last couple of days. So that activity is ramping up. Don't be surprised if we have a big quake, possibly in a big city, that could cause chaos, and you're going to see people flee that area. So, keep your head on a swivel, watch your back, get your plans ready, prepare for the unbelievable to occur, and it might not be matching your area. Say you live next to a volcano, it's not the volcano that goes off, you get hit by a flood instead. Areas that flood maybe won't get flooded, they'll have a fire instead. God works in mysterious ways, so it's not always, according to the specific area which your disaster might be. It could be something totally different. So, be prepared for that, something, other than what you expect. If you're a first responder, have your plans of what you're going to do, how you're going to help. Most of the first responders, if their families are in danger, they're not going to be out serving the public. They're going to be taking care of their own family. So you're going to have to rescue yourself sometimes. I wouldn't be traveling over to the Middle East right now. I wouldn't travel too far away from home right now if I were you. You don't want to be stuck in another country when they have a disaster, and then you're homeless in a country where you don't even speak the language. So, if you're going to go on vacation this summer, be wise about where you go, and have a backup plan how you're going to get back home if the airlines go down. How you're going to get back home if the roads are shut. How are you gonna get back to your house if something big happens? So a lot of things you're gonna need to start considering, because this stuff's ramping up, and it's not slowing down. In fact, it's going to continue to get worse and worse as we go. So that's about it for tonight. I got to get Boogie in here. I got to get out of here because we're going to close up shop here I don't want to get run off by the police again. So gonna wrap it up, and maybe I'll try and get back to you guys tomorrow. And go check some more instrumentation tonight when I get back to the tent, and prepare a little bit for tomorrow's show. And you guys just hold on tight. Cherish the ones you love. You know, cherish them now while they're around, because you never know. You just I've learned that you don't appreciate something until it's gone. So you need to back up and appreciate it before it's gone, while it's still there. And that goes for your loved ones and stuff too. So people might be losing their minds a little bit. You might have to forgive them because they're under a lot of stress. You might find yourself cracking a little bit because you're under stress. So prayer is essential. It's not just for praying over your food. It's to keep your mind, a sound mind and stuff. If you need to, go back into my channel and go look at Christmas Gift. Go look at some of the angels that I've captured to solidify your beliefs, because they're going to try to strip that from you. They're going to come after Jesus, and anybody that believes, you're going to be possibly ostracized as the crazy one, or you know, you're crazy because you believe in this or that. So you're going to want to maybe hide your, you know, don't go out broadcasting that you're a Christian or something like that, because you could be putting a target on your back. Let me do that part, okay? I walk around with a big old cross on the back of my shirt. This one's got a big cross and wings and stuff on it too, because I'm trying to slowly drop hints to the people around me. When they see, you know, a cross that you're wearing, or they see something on your shirt or whatever, they know that that, you know, there's people out there that still believe and understand what's going on. And you guys, as my audience, are the elite who understand what's going on. Imagine going into Walmart, like right here where I'm at, and being the only person in the whole store that knows what's going on. Imagine going to a football game with 30,000 people around, and you're the only person out of all those 30,000 people that know truly what's going on. So you guys are special. You really are. You've seen some stuff on my channel that you won't find anywhere else, and that's for a reason. And I'm using that to try to help you solidify your foundation. I want you beyond faith. I want you to know your faith is good too. Don't get that wrong. Keep having faith, but know in your heart, because when you know and your mind can't be changed, you're unstoppable, and there's nothing they can do to stop you. So you got power to tread on scorpions and serpents. Watch out, because that's what we're surrounded by. Okay. Anything else, Lord, you want me to say? I think that's about it for right now. I'm going to wrap it up and get out of here and get back to the tent and get ready for tomorrow. All right? So I love you guys. I miss y'all. Okay? You guys hang in there. Stay strong. Pray for each other. Got to pray for your enemies too. I was talking about that earlier today. You know, I was getting a little bitter and a little angry with them. And, you know, I had to kind of backtrack my steps and remind myself and remind you guys that, you know, you still got to pray for your enemies. We got our hands full. So everybody, hang on. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next live, bye. What was that? Had 2 more C flares. Please pray for my younger brother. He is in the Kelowna, BC area. Those are the fires I was talking about. Talked to him earlier today. He works in a racing horse ranch. We're loading up the horses and trying to get out of there. Prayer sent. Angel Wings. It says, Brian, where are you at? I'm in Carson City, Nevada, the capital of Nevada. Praying for all the people in that area today. Just reading some of the chat here. The first seal was opened 2020 January to he who overcometh. Thank you, Jimmy. Prayers for everyone in the fires, especially one for your brother. Okay. Hey. Oh, there's Becca Loves Jesus. Hi. Tiger, I was here. Brian, what kind of building are you in? I'm not in a building. I'm sitting out front of our local Walmart. I'm living in a tent, so I can pick up and go and move and find a new place within 15 minutes. You know, I'm able to pack that stuff up and move and get out of there and find a different place within 15 minutes. That would be ideal for you folks. If you could do your escape plan, your backup plan, your plan B, your plan A within about 10 to 15 minutes, practice that. See if you can get the whole family and all their gear together in a car and out of there in 15 minutes if you had to, okay? Because that's what I had to do. I actually had 10 minutes to do it all. And it's a good thing I was kind of already prepped in my mind, because when I had to grab my stuff, I immediately went to this and to that. Those are priority 1 and 2. So, have your little list of what's priority so you can survive outside. This is said to be construct recycled wheel. The X spoke is right. The program is playing. I see ships in the clouds a lot. Yes, there are lots of ships. The cloaking mechanism on these ships causes water to condensate and form clouds around them. So when you see a UFO-shaped cloud, it's probably because there's a UFO in there. The food prices keep going up, and gas. Yeah, you might as well buy a bunch of food and gas and stuff now before it goes up even higher. You know what I'm saying? Have some gallons. Get gas cans, backup gas cans. Oh, Drop is here. Hey, Drop, good to see you. Yeah, Bernard, China is fleeing. Yeah, China's having economic and catastrophes happening to them. Only make sure you have multiple horses hooked up. Yeah. Have a ladder that extends and a hatchet. Yes, that's a good idea. A ladder that extends, a hatchet, an axe for if you have to go up and chop off branches off a tree to start a small fire to cook over. Yep, axe and a hatchet. Fire department, definitely watch the skies and weather. Just kind of reading some of your chat here. Will we have another presidential election? I don't think so. I have the feeling the shit's going to hit the fan before the election. And so what if we have an election? So what? It's going to get stolen like the last one. So what's the point? Even if you go out there and vote in huge numbers, just like we did last time, they went and stole it anyway, right? Yeah, the moon is way off. Drop. I think you noticed that too. Let's see. Air conditioner. Yeah, air conditioners too. The air conditioner in your car, the Freon that goes and charges the system, make sure the air conditioning in your car is up to date and charged and ready to work. Because if you have to bolt and stay in your car overnight or live in the car for a week or something, it gets hot in a car and you want to have air conditioning. This brother did not put it on, didn't have it. Okay, just kind of reading here. Take a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, good. You guys are talking amongst yourselves there. Yes, Sunday 1 p.m. Yeah, and then keep tabs on the news, because fires are breaking out all over the place. And if you see one in a vicinity where your family is, you're going to want to get on the horn and call them. Hey, I just saw on the news you guys are having fires heading your way. God bless Brian. Jim Scotland. Trump fled to be in the fire district. True, he won. Take care, Brian. I will. I can't handle the heat. I can't regulate my temperature. Getting your clothes wet and putting on damp clothes helps keep you cool. Okay, brother. what does that say? There was a couple of small earthquakes in Kentucky and in Indiana. The New Madrid fault line is coming unzipped. Yeah, don't forget about the New Madrid. Okay, you people in that area, you're not free from quakes either. You know, everybody thinks it's all California, but that area could be next. Um, let's see. Bye, Brian. Thank you. Thank God for conditioning. Keep your enemies closer because your loved ones know and love you. Okay. I'm about to be homeless too. My landlord is evicting us. Oh, I'm sorry, Becca. Yeah, a lot of people are about to be homeless here too. It sucks because the price of everything's going up. Nobody can afford rent anymore. And your landlord's stupid for evicting you. If anything, you should talk him into a lower. Say, hey, instead of letting this property go, unpaid zero, you're collecting zero rent because nobody's going to move in. They don't have the money to move in. So I'd talk to the landlord and be like, hey, you see the economy? It'd be in your best interest to lower my rent because you would still have a tenant there paying something at least. Because if you evict us, you're going to have zero. So I would use that argument, Becca. I would tell your landlord, hey, it's time you wake up, buddy. It's better off that you have somebody staying there who's paying some kind of rent. Maybe it's not the full amount, but at least you're getting something. Because if you kick us out, you might not get anybody in there, and then you have a big fat zero. So that's the time to really negotiate with them and be firm with them. Let them know, hey, there's nobody going to move into this thing. You're going to be screwed. You're going to have zero income coming from this place if you kick me out. Don't store gas near your house or structures. Yeah, the storage of gas is, you got to be careful. Sometimes gas goes bad, so they have treatments for gas to make it last longer too. No basements either, make it shaded, far away from your house, and vented. Yes, that's a good idea. I'm sorry, but we're in the same situation. My husband is have no income. I'm sorry. Right now, for people who are losing their income and stuff, go apply for food stamps and benefits now while you can, because pretty soon that'll probably get shut down too. Any kind of assistance that you can get, I would take advantage of it right now. Even though you got the mindset of, oh, they want you hooked on there and dependent on them, I would be a little wiser and take advantage of them. Since they've taken advantage of you and screwed you, you might as well take advantage back and get some of your money back out of this government, because I doubt if you're ever going to see Social Security again. So you might want to take advantage of whatever benefits they got and milk them for all they're worth. Go get your food stamp card and use that to be your supply, your backup. Yes. Ooh, yes. Damp clothes, wet hair. Yeah, I've been wetting my hair a lot. I was gonna shave my head, but then the sun burns your scalp, so I'm growing my hair long so I can keep it wet. And when it's wet, it keeps your head cool. Yeah, your ex wants to destroy your lives. Yeah, watch out for family trying to do that too. As if things aren't bad enough, you're going to have family trying to make it even worse. So just be careful. You're going to find out who you can trust and who you can't in these days now. They just want our land 100% almost bought. It's always good. Oh, good. Cucumbers, melons help lower body temperature. Yes, cucumbers, melons, stuff that has a high density of water, food with a lot of water in it is good to eat. Wow, the electric company just slammed me with a $750 security deposit. Wow. Yeah. Watch out for these companies. They're going to be gouging you left and right. Instead of paying them $750, why don't you put that towards some solar panels and generate your own electricity, and then you could just tell them to go F themselves. So yeah, if you can be independent and off grid, you might not have the amenities that you're used to, but you can still have some electricity. So solar panels, water filters, backup generators, hand crank pumps in case the power goes out. Um, things that are manual as opposed to electronic, because that could possibly do a lot of damage will be done to electronics with some of these objects. They seem to bleed everything dry of electricity. So, um, okay, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm gonna let you guys say goodbye to each other here. And I got to get going here because I got a few last things to wrap up. So, God bless you all. I miss you all. Hang in there. Keep exchanging your ideas with each other, and we'll have a close-knit little family of support here on this channel at least, okay? And over at Marfugal too. Lots of good people there, okay? I think that's about it. I got to get going. I love you guys. God bless y'all. And until my next live stream, bye.